It is said the only constant is change in college football, but over more than 150 years, there have been some things that you can count on. If you can run the football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. Welcome to the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, and the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. As we'll see, the number 15 team in the country, the Auburn Tigers, taking on a team from the playoff a year ago, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. The Buckeyes' long wait is coming to an end as they'll put a foot to it and the season will get underway. And he's coming out of the end zone. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Tigers' offense going to get the chance to start this game off. And here comes for the first time as a starter this talented freshman. And Jesse, it seems like quarterbacks mature quicker and quicker these days, and they're ready to grab the reins.
Yeah, you're seeing it more and more. And there's more high school quarterbacks now ready to take the next step and compete and perform in college football. But listen, I started as a true freshman back at Florida. I guarantee you he has so much nervous energy going right now because he has never played in an environment like this, and he has never played against competition like this either, Dave.
No, it's crazy, and that was 1920. So imagine now with all the technology how much he's feeling the nerves. Obviously, all the eyeballs in the stadium is on him. Everybody knows what he's capable of, but he's going to be the first guy to touch the football. It's going to revolve around him, and that's a lot to ask of a freshman.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Pulls it and fires to the left. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Let's talk for a second about Auburn. You start the season top 25. Clearly expectations are flying your way, but with that might come some roadblocks.
Well, I think you got to take every week and every opponent one at a time. The number beside your name doesn't matter right now.
And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fields the punt. Wants to make a play. He's brought down, but a really solid effort to pick up every bit of yardage he could on the punt return. So Ohio State's offense has its first opportunity of the day. And the story is going to be in this one. Will this quarterback be able to operate before that big fella on the defensive front gets right in his grill, Jesse?
And listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but he better play with the clock in his head in this one. He's not going to have a lot of time. There were a lot of quarterbacks around the SEC that probably felt this way back when they played the Georgia Bulldogs and David Pollack, right?
Yeah, especially those real teams with Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. But, like, here's what's fun. You can't throw the ball off your back. And that's what this guy's going to try to do. Get to the quarterback, affect him. The bottom line is every quarterback becomes really human when you hit him. Can he hit him and make him human?
Because the QB anticipated that curl route so well, he got it to his receiver early against zone coverage. He had space to work with. After he caught the ball, he was able to make a guy miss, move the chains.
Inside the 30 at the 29, it's a first down. Makes the catch. It's Garrett. He works his way to the 23 before he goes out of bounds. This is a kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged. But when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these.
He'll take a shot. Picked off inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat.
And I tell you what, as a quarterback, you got to have a short memory. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be asked to do a lot, and he throws his first career interception. If I'm the coach on the sideline, listen, I'm bringing him over. This ain't going to be your last, big fella. Like, you're going to make mistakes. It's okay. Put it behind you. Next play.
Off the play fake on first down. Fires to the middle. Wide open downfield. That'll be good enough for a first down. They'll mark it at the 30.
I love that play call, and quarterbacks are always licking their chops after their defense gets a takeaway because they know now, hey, I got a sudden change situation. I've got a chance to take a shot and pad my stats.
Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front, they could not protect him well enough.
And the Tigers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Finds the tight end. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Guys, let's chat a little big picture Auburn. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. Auburn sends out the punting unit. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He will not make a fair catch. Field the punt and bring it back. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. He threw a pick on the initial drive, but they have it back, and we're still looking for our first points of the game. The give is to Smith. Shakes off the defender. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
Man, a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle. But how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
Those are the best run defenses, too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
It's definitely the wide receiver's job to create space, right? So whether you're running a go or you're running a hitch like this right here, I got to find a way to push off legally or just create a little bit of space to get some positive yards.
On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Gets open down the middle. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down.
On a big third down, love the discipline by the defense there. You got everybody with their eyes on the quarterback, rallying to the football, showing good speed on D. Nice tackle. Love the team defense.
Still on their side of the field, no problem. Going for it, fourth and short from the 44. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. It might be a gamble to go for it on fourth down. With that distance, it's a real gamble to keep it on the ground.
Yeah, I don't think that...
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
What a great play by one of their biggest playmakers in the D-line. I can say this personally. I got my first start in college at Jordan-Hare Stadium. It was brutal. I think about it, and I get PTSD to this day. When you get those types of athletes in a three-point stance rushing the quarterback with that crowd noise and your offensive tackles can't hear the snap count, it's not a lot of fun.
A chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a third and long. This one from the 44. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
And that's got to feel good, and that's a play this young man is never going to forget. His first interception of the season. Great job reading the QB's eyes and getting to the football.
Looking for a man. It's Gray. Bringing the heat. He'll try to do it himself. He's brought down, but not before he turned that into a positive play and picked up a few on the run. Line getting set on second down. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
You know, defensively, you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz. That time, they dialed it up into the run play, and the linebacker able to make a nice tackle.
On 3rd and long, trying to convert through the air. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
You'd think they would have had a good chance to down that one deep, but the bounce carries it into the end zone for the touchback. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. The give to the back. Got to be smart, patient, great vision, uses all of that to get to the 29. We've reached the end of the first quarter, and it has been a defensive battle, and the stats tell the tale so far. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. The Buckeyes with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Motion from the wide receiver. He'll ride his man on the option. Power football with the run. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
You can skin the cat a lot of different ways. You're just trying to get enough yards to pick up that 1st down. It's not the dive man. It's not the quarterback. He makes the right read, pitches it out, and he's just able to get enough to keep these sticks moving.
Here's the handoff. Gets it past the marker. Stopped at the 47 after a 10-yard gain. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. Trying to surprise him with the pass. Oh, and he just dropped it so close to his 2nd interception of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. Offense in a bunch formation. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Calls his own number. They don't get nearly enough on 3rd down. 4th down coming from the 48. And the Buckeyes will bring the punt team onto the field. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. And they'll get downfield and make the tackle right at the 16-yard line. So here comes the Auburn offense. We'll see if they can be a little more productive this time around. A 3-and-out the last time they had the ball. Looking to throw, it's Gray. Catch in the middle, it's Thompson.
Now, you've seen the evolution of these slot receivers. They're just matchup nightmares. They're hard to get your hand on. A lot of times, they're off the football. You can't jam them. These guys are so productive, and offenses really feature their best players most time in those slot positions.
Has plenty for the 1st down, and they stop him at the 28. There's a rich tradition of running the football at Auburn from James Brooks, Joe Cribbs, Bo Jackson, Cadillac Williams, Ronnie Brown. They love to find a tough running back to feed the run.
Such great history, such great lineage of ground and pound and great athletes. And it's just a physical mindset of Auburn. And they're always that team that wants to run the football.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
So now it's 2nd and long. They'll leave it with him. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
He tosses one high playing deep down the left side. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Auburn's going to have to send out the punt team. Takes it on the return. That's a perfect example of not settling for a fair catch. Pick up whatever yardage you can and help out the offense. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And, David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just
turning it on! And it is a good idea to gang tackle. First guy couldn't get him. Second guy finally did. This offense will snap it from the 42 on 1st and 10. Use the play fake. Now to throw. Firing to the right, complete. He works his way inside the 30 down to the 29 and picks up a first down.
It's really easy to be a quarterback in an offense that runs the football and then runs play action. It makes it simple. It makes the reads easy. It sucks the linebackers and safeties up where I can just make plays right behind them.
And that's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down and 2nd and 6. Smith takes the handoff. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? Ball's at the 24, a lot of confidence in their kicker from here, but they'd love to take it off of his foot and convert the first down. Puts it out of the air. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
We just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game, running or throwing it. In the second half, throwing it specifically, I think they need to find a better rhythm. They've got to find a way to get some completions strung together.
Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. He's got it on the right. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
Well, a great job making the tackle there. Now setting up 3rd down in your own red zone. This is a stop you have to come up with. You want to give up field goals in this area of the field, not touchdowns.
They'll try to pick it up on the ground. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense.
And I just love when guys know exactly where the sticks are. You could tell ran with purpose, finished through the sticks, and got just enough for the first down.
And a nice job up front too, right? Good communication. Everybody knew where they had to go. Hat on a hat, work the double teams, and get some push.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point makes it 7-0.
The best running backs are the guys that can just sniff out the end zone. That running back showed you all of his freakish ability on that play.
Looks like he's going to try to return it. And the returner will be brought down. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. They're looking for something, looking for anything to try to put some kind of score on the board, down 7-0. They'll move the tight end. To throw, it's Gray. Here's a heat. Good job to avoid the negative play and just get rid of that thing.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Pulls and throws off the RPO. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The horseshoe is rocking, trying to help their defense on third down. No, sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one. They were banking on the yards after the catch, but that went into the negative column.
And I'm banking on the ball coming out quick. When I'm a defense and understanding third and short, understand they're going to throw the ball really quickly, try to make a play. The defense knew it, broke on the football, made a nice tackle to force a fourth down.
And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening, run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience in this offense that last drive, too, on that touchdown. Everybody on the same page. These guys have repped these plays over and over in practice and in games, and it's working, Dave.
Yeah, so I got to find a way to disrupt it. I got to find a way to maybe be more aggressive, maybe blitz, mess up this rhythm they got going.
He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down. Looking downfield on first down. Grabs it in the middle. They stop him just a link or two short of the first, and man, what they can do on second down here. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Looking to fire. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
The chains will move, and they'll have first and 10 from inside the red zone at the 18. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half, maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just enough time to get off one final play of the half. From the red zone, he's going to throw it. Lets it fly. Touchdown, Ohio State. The finisher, the exclamation point on that drive.
And they trust their QB to execute like they have the whole first half, and he delivers, and they build on this lead and build their momentum going into halftime.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. Fielded in the end zone. It's Thompson. He'll be brought down, and that's the final play of the half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Fellas, looks like we've got a great one going down in Columbus today. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. And with that, we send it back to the guys in the shoe.
All right, Kevin, about ready to start the second half here. We're just about ready to start the second half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. As they get ready to start this third quarter, think how big the lead might be if they'd taken care of the ball.
Well, the game might be over, Reese, but if you're on defense right now, you've gotten a couple turnovers early, and you're saying, okay, we're going to need to keep this up. We got to stay aggressive for us to have a chance to win this game, but we believe we can do it.
Yeah, you've already done it, so of course you're going to believe it. Keep playing fast, keep playing physical, and then tell your offense, hey, we need a little help over here. Like, can you help us out and put some points on the board?
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They're testing the right side here. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
stopping the run is about physicality. It's about I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you up front. Really nice job by the defense, showing their strength, bowing up, stuffing the run.
Fires to the wideout. And the deflection by the defense brings up 4th down. The Buckeyes decide to punt it away. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. He'll field the punt and try to make something happen. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. Now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. They really didn't move the ball at all the last time they had it, and hoping for better fortune this time around. Back to throw, it's Gray. Finds his big tight end. He stopped just a chain link or 2 away from the 1st down and sets them up beautifully here. The Tigers have their whole playbook open here on 2nd and inches. Off the play fake. Catch in the middle, it's Thompson. They get him on the ground at the 37, but give him 15 yards on that chunk play, and they'll move the chains. It's 1st down from the 37-yard line. Fires to the big fella. Really good concept there to get things going and use the tight end early.
Yeah, I mean, just such a great job on 1st down, setting up an easier 2nd down. Understanding I don't always have to push the ball down the field, but see the tight end, make the throw. No, it's not a big gain, but makes life really easy on me on 2nd down.
It's as if Auburn will have enough for the 1st down.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the 2nd half.
Under fire. Quickly complete. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. From the gun, they'll try the middle. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. The noise level is relentless here on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Finds his target down the middle. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
These 3rd downs are so critical in deciding the outcomes of football games, especially when you start to get closer to the end zone. You drill it, you practice it. This offense needs to be dialed in, needs to be in rhythm, and needs to execute on this 3rd down.
And on 4th down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. This whole play is going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. It's good. Easy call for the refs. Now the lead is down to 11.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. I know they've put up really good numbers on offense, but, David, they're starting to feel a little game pressure right now.
Exactly. That scoreboard's starting to get a little bit tired cutting into that lead. Now, you know every possession matters, Palmer. A little pressure for this offense.
Yeah, and so you can't get tight, right? The best players on this offense now need to step up, and they need to start making plays. You got to identify where those one-on-ones are.
Incomplete, and very lucky that one wasn't picked off. And, man, could they have used that? It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. They'll give it to the back. You want to make sure to maximize those types of runs, and he gets it out to the 41.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Buckeyes come to the ball trying to pick up this 3rd and short. They'll try to get it through the air. They get to him as he throws.
3rd and short like that on your own side of the field, you're just looking for a quick hitter. You're trying to get the ball out of your hand quickly, but the timing completely off there for the offense, and the ball falls incomplete.
And the Buckeyes will line up to punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Catch is made at the 15. Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. So here comes the Auburn offense. These guys really need to get something going on this drive. They are still well within striking distance, but they have very little to show for their possession so far. The give on the option. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. Then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. But great job in the base defense making a play.
They'll run play action. Unloads to the wideout. Just a bit of a misfire there as they can't make the connection.
Well, you can see the frustration on this guy's face. He's one of the best receivers in college football, and they knew coming into this game that he had to get touches, but you can't say enough about how good this defense has been defending him. They've always had an answer, whether it's single coverage, double coverage, man or zone. They have not let him go off, and that's a big reason why they're winning this game.
The defense is there, and a great job to keep him from getting to that first down marker. He's hard to get a handle on. It'll be 4th and short. Punt is in the air. Makes the catch, and now looking for just a little bit of daylight. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
No, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Can't get him to the ground. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
I like the decision there in the RPO game too, guys. I know he only got a couple of yards, but that play's going to open up bigger opportunities throwing the football down the field in the RPO game too. So keep handing it off to this guy. Let him see what he can do. And when the defense gives you the look to hold the football and then finally throw it, that's when you take advantage.
They've got some work to do on this 3rd and long from the 40. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on 3rd down. And more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner. Got the speed, got the complete game. So you definitely...
Throws toward the end zone. And that shot downfield falls incomplete. And that's how we'll wrap up the 3rd quarter. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. And sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the 3rd. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. It'll be 2nd down as we open the final stanza. The give is to Smith. And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Didn't put much on that one, and it's incomplete. So they'll send out the field goal unit. He's going to reach for a long one, a 52-yard attempt. Just drives it between the uprights. And that will extend their lead even further. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in a great top 25 matchup. Michigan is currently trailing in this one But if history has taught us anything over the years, it's that closing out the maize and blue inside the big house is not easy. They're trailing by 10 to Notre Dame. Your boy KC has you covered here in studio, guys, in case anything changes in this Big Ten battle.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew.
And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line.
And how about that rush off of the edge? You could tell, man, playing pass all the way. Your team has a lead. Getting later in the football game, he's just pinning his ears back, and he flies off the edge and gets the big sack.
Rush is on him. That internal clock just didn't move fast enough, and they get him for a safety.
Well, the defense could smell blood in the water in that situation, and a great job pursuing, getting to the football, showing you all of that athleticism they have, and they come away with the safety.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Man, how comforting is it to know that even if your offense stalls out a little, Jesse, that field goal kicker can knock it in from a long way out.
Well, he's one of the best in the country, Reese, no doubt, but this offense would like him and prefer for him to kick an extra point on this drive, and to do that, David, they've got to have more rhythm on offense.
Yeah, create some more rhythm, create some more explosive plays, and maybe some more balance. And listen, it's nice to have that weapon and kick long field goals. If you kick too many field goals, you don't get very many W's.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Back to pass. Oh, they're after him. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
You want to make a guy that's elite, that's one of the best in the business, start to become more and more human. Keep getting hits on him. Nice job by the defense, getting in his face, being physical. Make him feel your presence. Don't let him get comfortable back there in that pocket.
How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple. The Buckeyes will call on their punt team. Now on the return. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. And Auburn is ready to go back to work on offense. Not the day they had hoped to have, but when you are a ranked team, you are going to get everyone's best shot, and now let's see if they can pull this one out. Motion from the wideout. Coming out on first down with the play fake. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Man, this defense has been ruthless all game long. Individual effort. They've got guys up front winning their one-on-one matchups, and they have been terrorizing this quarterback.
Looking to throw, it's Gray. Quickly to the tight end. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Yeah, nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat, I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Ball is loose. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
Nice heads-up play by the defense to jump on that ball after it got popped out.
Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. To the ground with the back. And he'll pick up one. It brings up 2nd and 9.
Well, they've got the lead. The defense just did their part, getting a takeaway. So now if you're on offense, you want to run the ball and take as much time as possible between snaps. Stay in bounds and let this clock tick away.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. They want this clock to move. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
And I know you can play these late-game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football. You preserve the lead. You got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
And a missed missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. And the critical down and distances in this game, like that third down right there, when it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the catch, converts on fourth down, and still on his feet. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening first and goal from the 9.
Man, this just starts to hurt your pride, right? You're down by several scores. It's in the fourth quarter, and they keep making big plays. This is something where you just got to buck up. You got to do something about it. You got to find something down deep and go make a play so you can get the ball back and maybe get back in this game.
Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's second and goal. Tries again to get it in. And they stop him again for no gain, and it will be third down. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. They got mauled on the last play. Do they have anything that'll work on third and goal from the 2? Marches ahead. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up fourth down.
And, man, it's nice to have a guy that is just better than your guys. And no matter what play you call, man, how about him getting in the backfield quick, penetrating, using his quickness, and using his strength to get him to the ground? That is a baller.
Fourth down and goal from the 3. Can the defense get a stop? He's looking to pass. Looking for the goal line. And he will be stopped short, or stop himself short of the line to gain. What was he thinking there? And now here comes that Auburn offense onto the field again. And after that last turnover, David, prime example, sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets.
And it just puts you behind the 8. I mean, this offense has to do something, put it together. You got a deficit, Palmer. You need some mojo. Something needs to go your way.
At this point of the game, they've got to score touchdowns every time they have possession.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. From his end zone, a lot of room to throw downfield. They come up with their second safety of the game. You don't see that very often.
You could tell the defense smelled it. They knew exactly where they were on the field, put the pressure on him, got him down in the end zone. Safety, baby.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Boy, they have delighted these home fans here by putting this game in a hammerlock, David. Breaks into the open. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to do it. They ought to be able to run out the clock from here. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The give to the running back from the shotgun. Gets it past the first down marker and still running. And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down.
These situations are preached so much in college football. Finishing a game strong, understanding circumstances. They are running the football right at you, trying to keep that clock moving, get a few first downs, and get a W.
Coming into this one, we wondered whether